Well, it finally happened. This time, I'm the one who got a little speechless. But that's why I love doing these interviews, taking sneak peeks into areas that I know nothing about. I need to thank Erica for sharing her world of kinesiology. And although it took some time, I came up with some relatively good metaphors to explain my understanding of it. So today's guest is Erica, a holistic health therapist and founder of Kinesiology with Erica. We chatted about her origin story, which led to her business, and why hosting a safe and inclusive space is so important to her, which personally, I think is very important when it comes to healing.
Welcome to another episode of Get Chatty podcast, all about your local businesses of LGBT plus friends and allies. And today we have Erica here. How are you, Erica?
I'm so good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. I mean, we're recording in May, but it's not as cold as I thought, so can't complain.
Oh, I'm from WA, so this is still very cold for me.
Let's learn about your origin story. So, tell us a bit about yourself.
Oh, a little bit about me. So I am from WA, born and raised there. My mum is half Thai. My dad was half my mum is Thai. My dad is Scottish. So I grew up in WA and I moved to Melbourne about just over a year ago. So I'm still pretty fresh. I feel like the first year I was just in survival mode. But now that I'm starting to come out of that, I'm really enjoying what Melbourne has to offer, the culture, the aliveness of it all. So yeah, I came over here after a really hard heartbreak. I feel like I needed that to happen to be able to expand myself. And yeah, I'm feeling
Fresh
quite
start.
settled. Yeah, fresh start. So I think, yeah, as hard as it was, yeah, it's been the best experience of my life to be able to move from my home city.
Well, I mean, you're in the right place for it, and also you're doing something quite interesting. Now I believe now, correct me if my note is incorrect. So it's integrative holistic health. What is that?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So I'm an integrative holistic health therapist, I like to frame it. But I am a qualified kinesiologist and a spiritual Hawaiian Lomi Lomi massage therapist. I'm also undergoing some studies with the School of Shamanic Womancraft, which is all about connecting to our bodies and what that's like, how it's not different to the cycles and how we're all actually one. So I've got a few different modalities under my belt, but kinesiology is one. Well, my business name is Kinesiology with Erica, so it's very in your face, and a lot of people struggle to say it, but it's kinesiology.
Kinesiology.
Yeah.
Kinesiology. I believe it or not, I was practicing in the mirror.
I
Kinesiology. I've
I
been
absolutely believe that. Yeah.
well, I mean, I promise I did not do that at work. I just do that at home. Imagine that if someone just kind of like in a workplace, it just got seeing like, oh, Arthur lost his mind more than usual. Just looking at the mirror, it's like kinesiology.
No,
Uh,
I definitely get it. I even have on my website written in quotation marks, kin easy as in EASY
yeah,
ology.
it's
Yeah.
actually very helpful. It's very
Yeah.
helpful. Oh God. Well, I'd love to know more about what is kinesiology. But before that, I want to know about what drew you to the health space because it's a huge space. Like I mean, what took your interest in doing that?
That's a really good question. Well, if you had have told me 8 years ago that I would have been in the holistic health industry, I would have been really shocked.
Oh,
Yeah, I had started studying nursing, and then my dad got really sick and he passed away. And it happened pretty suddenly.
sorry about that.
So I feel like thank you. I feel like my whole world changed and this whole idea and concept of who I thought I was kind of collapsed around me. Like I never really believed in energy or I was never really invested in astrology or anything like that or anything outside of what is seen as typical societal norms. But then I became really good friends with my yoga teacher, and she was studying this modality. It was called kinesiology, and I was so curious about it. And she said to me, "You would make a really good kinesiologist." And this sparked my interest because I was like, "Oh, I'm not even sure what it is, but it sounds really fun." And then I ended up going to see her. And it took me a while, it took me maybe 2 to 3 sessions to really start to notice or see the shifts. But oh my gosh, like it completely changed my whole life. It changed my whole perception. It changed my reality, like things that I were like moving and coming in and out of my life. So it was a really, really big shift, and I couldn't really explain it, which is, I hope that I don't butcher kinesiology. But yeah, it's definitely something that you have to try. But what it is, kinesiology is traditionally the study of human movement in the human body, and it's a complementary therapy that uses muscle testing to tap into your body's subconscious and to identify the roots of the stress of what's actually going on. So it comes from the principle that our physical symptoms are often a reflection of emotional and energetic imbalances. So what we do in a session is we muscle test, and the whole modality, it works with the body's innate intelligence, and it doesn't work against it. So it helps to restore balance across physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels.
Oh, cool. I mean,
It's a bit
I'm a
of a
little bit
mouthful, wasn't
speechless.
it?
That's quite a lot. But interestingly, because I mean, I didn't know that, but it sounds like because you're from a nursing background that you care for people, and maybe that's why your should I say mentor or the teacher that have said to you that, oh, Erica, you would be great for kinesiology, and
Yeah.
that could be the case. That could be the case.
Yeah, I guess it was someone else. She was my yoga teacher, but it was someone else
Okay.
seeing something within me. And I just thought, oh, I have to try this thing. And I did, and surely enough, she was right. It changed my whole life.
Well, I mean, when the whole when the whole digital transformation coming in, that I mean, I've been working in like promoting stuff for a little while, even pre-digital. But then when it all started, and then someone said to me, it's like, oh, you'll be pretty good in content marketing. And then I was like, I didn't quite know that. But then it's like, oh, I'm good at talking shit on the internet. Okay, that's
Well,
fine.
well, look at you now. I was so drawn to you when I first met you. You was just so chatty. Like the Chatty creator is perfect name for you.
You, thank you. Well, actually, speaking of name, because you have, as you mentioned, you have quite an in-your-face business name, Kinesiology with Erica. How did it all started?
Well, a bit of a long-winded answer,
Ooh,
but
go for it.
thank you. I love talking. I was seeing psychologists for years, and I was going back and forth from the doctors about my gut issues, and it just didn't feel like much had shifted. It was kind of like they were treating the symptom and not really the root cause of what was going on. And I was seeking answers that the mainstream Western medicine model wasn't giving me. And yeah, I guess I felt like on reflection, I was seeking answers outside of myself. And then I started studying kinesiology, and everything started to shift. My whole life changed, like my physical body as well, what I was and wasn't able to digest. And I guess throughout my like learnings, I wanted to have my offering to be a journey with me and not by me. And that feels really important to me because, and this is just my personal opinion, but I feel like us humans, we can get swept up by the idea that we're healing people, but really it's the person who is receiving, who's doing all the work. And that's where I believe the magic is being birthed within the person that's receiving, and the facilitator is just facilitating the space. Um, but yeah, I don't think that we need anything external from ourselves to really heal. It's all within, and we've just forgotten and we've just become disconnected because our bodies have been with us our whole lives. So our bodies really actually know what's going on, but then we're giving the power to someone who's done 6 years of study as to opposed of remembering that we actually have those answers. And as I trained and I work with others, I realized that I wanted to create a safe, inclusive space for deep healing, where all parts of ourselves are welcome and where anyone is welcome in my space.
Something a little bit that, I mean, for the lack of better words, that a little bit unfortunate is that mainstream medicine originated with mainly this white male, that it's not, it covers a really good portion of that. But it sounds like what you're doing is that you're like a locksmith to a person's body and mind. That is just okay.
Yeah,
I told you in advance that there will be some random shit coming out of my mouth. I don't know why. I
I
haven't
love
had
it.
coffee I haven't had a coffee since midday.
No, I love it. All of this is welcome. Any questions, please ask. I'll do my best to answer and not try not to butcher this beautiful modality.
Oh, and I
Yeah.
just did. Just describe me as
Yeah.
a locksmith.
No, I think that's great. I would see myself more as um like an investigator. Like I'm putting the
Yes.
puzzle pieces together. Yeah.
Yes, that's much better. Okay, good. It's like investigating a very complicated case. Yes.
Yeah. I like locksmith too.
What a typical day as a kinesiologist is like.
Well, I guess every day is really different. It depends on what people have booked in for, because I offer spiritual Hawaiian Lomi Lomi massage and kinesiology, as well as ceremonial body work, which is a bit of drumming and sounds. But so it doesn't matter what they've booked in for. It always starts with I need to ground myself, and I do that by meditation or breath work or some drumming. Because to hold space for others, we need to be grounded, but also I'm human and sometimes these steps get missed in my everyday life. But I do these before a session, and that always is a good reminder to come back to my practice and come back to being grounded in life. But sessions may include muscle testing, which is the tool that I use, energetic corrections, Eastern medicine, like traditional Chinese medicine, and acupressure points. I do body work as well. So, body work with the beautiful modality of spiritual Hawaiian Lomi Lomi, which is so relaxing and nourishing and just so deep rooted in culture. But it all depends on what the person is wanting to receive and what their body is telling me that they need to receive. So it's all about grounding and tuning into the other person.
Hmm. Oh gosh, now I thought of another description. It's almost like tuning for. Remember those like before digital radio that you need to tune the different the dial for it, or opening a safe like those heist movie.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And to play onto that, that's like the answers, right, that we're seeking within ourselves is we can't hear them because we're tuned into a different frequency. But when you start to explore that and dissect it and make whatever part of you feel safe and seen and heard, is that you can really connect back into those answers and you can tune back into whatever you're looking for.
Wow, this is where am I? What's going on? I'm going to areas that I don't know what the fuck is going on. Well, how about this? We'll take a quick break and then we'll jump into the next segment, which we will talk a little bit deeper about you and your business and everything in between. How about that?
Perfect. Sounds amazing.
And cut. Welcome back. Erica, are you ready for a little word association? What phrases actually? It's
Okay, yeah, bring it on.
okay. Well, now I'm just gonna say like a phrase or a word. I kind of want you to share based on your experience in like putting together and running kinesiology with Erica. So okay, first one, uh, independence,
Mm, freedom to do something meaningful on my own terms.
identity,
Sacred. My offerings are always evolving as I'm evolving. And I think what's most important to me is being authentic and honest with myself and what I'm offering to the world.
Work-life balance.
A dance. Sometimes graceful, sometimes messy, but always worth it. And yeah, because I'm in my building phase in a new city, I'm from WA. It looks a lot messier at the moment, as I'm calling my people in.
I, this is actually one of the best answer that we got. Because usually when we talk about small businesses and or independent businesses, it's always a little bit like when we talk about work-life balance, we're like, oh no.
Well, yeah, I mean it is a bit of a sometimes good, sometimes not so good. Yeah.
Well, as in life, there are some
Yeah.
ups and downs that are career satisfaction.
Oh, when I see someone shift, when they feel safe, feel heard, connected, empowered, and just living life with a little bit of less armoring, that's the gold. That's what I do it for.
Now, it's amazing. And the other thing is, I sense that you are an ally to the LGBT plus community. And can you tell me a little bit about like your friendship in this space?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I feel like my offerings are rooted from all of you is welcome in my space, and that's just not to a certain demographic of people, that's to everybody. And for me, it's all about creating a safe space, creating inclusive spaces, especially for the LGTB, oh, sorry, especially
LGBT
for
plus?
LGBT plus community. Yeah, I feel like it's not optional, it's an essential. And it's essential to me that everybody feels safe in my space, whether it is professional or personally. Yeah, it's really important that people feel respected, seen, and heard with me. And I feel like my offerings are so personal. They're so both of them, bodywork and kinesiology, they can be very vulnerable spaces, especially and triggering as well. And what I offer is a space for you to feel completely safe, held, and respected so that monumental healing can happen and you can dive into the spaces where you've never really had a look before, you've never been willing to go to. And I think that everyone deserves that. And how much more peaceful would life be if we could all just feel safe enough to be ourselves, like our authentic selves? So that's what's really important to me and how I identify as an ally is just it's for everybody.
Well, I mean, in addition to that, you are actually like, we met at Victorian Pride Center. They have an event there. Like, in all of that, that you're actually also economically contributing to the community itself. And also the other thing is, although we haven't met for too long, but I've noticed that you do make an effort to understand the nuance. It's not like a one size fits all approach that you do. And that's something that I do find it as like, okay, I like this person. And that's the thing. And sometimes, unfortunately, like the mainstream medicine, or if you may, mainstream Western science, there is a bit of a gap that is people kind of being reduced into numbers and stats. and and that part is missing because if you don't exactly feel like you're mainstream, then what the fuck? Like something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It all comes down to the construct of the whole social acceptance thing, right? And doing something that's a little bit different to what everybody else is doing, or being someone who is different that looks like the norm. Like, there's not really spaces for these people or what we're interested in. But when we come together, and I feel like that's the core of it all, is coming back to our heart. I don't know what happened along the way and how that got lost, but when we're really living life by the beat of our own heart and we're being true to ourselves, we are our most protected and powerful selves.
I can't agree more, but I have a confession, Erica.
Speaking of,
Well, I must admit that I'm agnostic when it comes to the spirituality space, and I'm kind of like in the slightly more benefit side of the mainstream medical space, so I'm kind of keeping everything else in arm's length. Um, what would you be? What would your message be for someone like myself that is like, is she on about? Like,
I totally get that. That's okay. That was me 8 years ago. I felt really expanded when was having these sessions. Like I felt like my whole life just expanded. Like I was living in this bubble and it just popped open and all the possibilities were so different. And I look back on who I was 8 years ago and I'm really proud of who I am today. And I don't think that work could have happened without doing modalities such as kinesiology and breath work and coming closer home to myself and looking at the places in myself that I wasn't really wanting to look at. But, I totally respect that people need grounded, evidence-based care. And actually, kinesiology can be surprisingly logical. Like muscle testing is just a biofeedback tool. A lot of different modalities use it. That's just kinesiology's main source of how we're doing the investigating and gathering all the pieces. And, I invite in all of this critical and thinking. I think it's really healthy. And you don't have to believe in energy to feel better. The body knows what it needs, and that's what I follow. But I hold space for both science and spirit, and without pushing either one of those, I hope that people who are a bit more cautious about holistic health are also using that caution within the Western medical system as well.
that's
But
actually that okay, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I do want to add on a little bit of the point that is like um even kind of circle back to the LGBT plus community concept topic that we just covered, is that even though we're different, like I mean, you're an ally, and we all have different, like, there's an L, there's a G, there's a B, and all of those things. And it's important that we are open to have a conversation, like open to communicate. And unfortunately, we're living in a day and age that people are happy to be compartmentalized, and they're staying in their silos and not giving things a go. And yeah, I think your message just then is very good. I'm just gonna clip that from this episode.
No, well, it's just kind of an invitation just to be critical on both ends. I think it's important to be cautious because, sometimes, you can go too far one way and too far the other way. And I believe it's all about balance. And all I will say is that time in and time out, every time I do this work, especially kinesiology, is that I work beyond the realms of logic, and just sometimes we need to be open to things that are beyond our human understandings and just trust ourselves. So if that's the message that I'd like to take, is like whether people are resonating with me or with kinesiology or not, that's okay. But just always trust that sense of, oh, does this feel right for me or does it not feel right for me?
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much for taking part in this interview. Well, we still have a part three coming at this third segment coming up. But before we get to that, for people interested in finding out more what you do, making contact with you, how are they going to find you?
So if you're curious about kinesiology or spiritual Hawaiian Lomi Lomi or ceremonial bodywork with shamanic drumming, my Instagram is literally kinesiology with Erica, or I have a website which is kinesiology with Erica. And if you've never tried anything like this before, that's okay. That's totally fine. Your body's wisdom will always take you to where you need to go, and it's always worth listening to, whatever it is. But start with some body work. Spiritual Hawaiian Lomi Lomi is such a beautiful modality, such a beautiful offering. It's so welcoming and done with such respect, and especially the way that I've been taught. So it's always a beautiful entry point.
Well, I'm going to make sure that all the information are on the show note and under the video or under the audio, whatever app that you're using to listen to this.
This has been really fun, and I want more fun in my life. So
Okay.
yes.
Good. Erica, are you ready for a bunch of random questions?
I am ready. Give it to me.
All right. Okay. So I'll just jump into it. Okay. First one. What is the one item you couldn't live without?
Probably my lip balm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cannot agree more. Cannot agree more. What are you like outside of your work?
I think I'm a bit more cheeky.
Okay, there
A
you
bit more
go.
cheeky, a bit more playful outside of work. Yeah.
Oh, look, I mean, life is too complicated. You gotta have some fun. You gotta have some fun.
It's all about balance, right?
Exactly. Okay. Okay. Which talent or skills would you like to wake up with tomorrow?
I'd love to be able to sing. Oh,
Oh,
oh, I would just
oh.
love to be able to sing like Georgia Smith. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Yeah.
It's yeah, it is a very ta unique talent.
Yeah.
Uh, what is your most overused word or phrase?
That sounds delicious.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
delicious.
Delicious, or actually I think my clients back in Perth, because I do online work, they would
Yeah.
probably say my most overused word would probably be like, "Ooh, juicy."
Um, Amazing. Name a job you do in the multiverse.
In the what, sorry?
In the multiverse. So there's another version of Erica whose
Oh,
path
okay.
would be a little bit different, something like something 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 8 years ago turns out differently. I
Oh,
think that Erica would be.
as a little girl, I always wanted to be an actress. Oof.
Oh, I wanted to be an actor when I was younger as well, but then I was like, no, I have to remember lines.
Yeah. I think all different things. But yeah, I would have loved to be an actress. So like, I'm cute. I like people to notice. So I like attention.
Wait, wait, what? Okay, well, we'll find another thing in common. What inspired you on a Tuesday?
What inspires me on Tuesdays?
Yeah, on a Tuesday. Most
Oh,
Tuesdays. Like just like if you wake up on a randomly on a Tuesday, what gives you that driving force?
just life. I'm so happy to be alive. Like, I feel like it's such a gift. As humans, we're so fragile. Like, anything could happen. We could get into a car accident, we could roll our ankle, or it's even a miracle that we are alive, because birth, you go into the portal of life and death, really. Some people don't make it out of there. And I think, honestly, if that is really important and gets me out of bed and comes back on those Tuesdays where I'm like, oh, what's going on? Is that I'm just so grateful to be alive.
That's great attitude. Good for you. What what's the biggest business lesson that you've learned from your career so far?
Things take time.
Yeah, it does.
Mm.
And what's the most unexpected expense or energies use that you have when it comes to running your own business?
Probably a good foundation for marketing, or like just having a really good foundational website where you can direct people to. I think that's been an unexpected. I thought that was something I would never need to do. But it's something I've invested in really recently, and it's just changed everything. I feel like I have a really solid foundation.
And also it should be come from you. And one of the amazing things about like yourself and many of the people that I interviewed so far is that they they're starting their business because they want to be themselves, they want to be themselves at work, and they want to forge their own paths. And
Mm.
that's why, for example, for yourself, that you're building your website based on you. And from a marketing angle, it's about building a centralized place for people to come to when they want to find out more about you. It shows that it's you, because unfortunately there's too many like AI stuff, automated stuff that okay, great, but you know that they're not genuine.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think AI can be used as such an amazing tool, but yeah, that's definitely something that I have noticed, because I started using that at the start because I didn't know what to write.
Mm,
But then when I started to look at other people's websites and Instagrams, I'm like, oh, you use that too. That's the phrase
there
that
you
I got
go.
as well. But yeah, I think that sometimes often like the people like myself who are in holistic healing, we're not so good at that stuff, but we're great at what we do. So that gets lost in translation. And I've recently found someone who's now a dear friend of mine who's just helped me to be able to facilitate what I'm wanting to give. So yeah, I think that's important as well for an external party to be like, oh, hang on, you're also good at these things, or have you ever looked at this angle? Or I feel like that, yeah, like this encapsulates you more. So I think that's really important. A facilitator's facilitator.
Exactly. And they will become the people that connect you with the bigger world, and that's where your client comes in.
Mm.
What is one biggest misconception about your area of work that you would like to break?
Probably the fact that it's woo-woo, quote unquote, mark woo-woo. Yeah, I think that, yeah, that's something I'd like to normalize, is that it comes from a space of, it's an invitation of, is there something more outside of this, or am I limiting myself? But yeah, I feel like it would be really nice to see a world where modalities like kinesiology, or kinesiology specifically, and same as spiritual Hawaiian Lomi Lomi, they're integrated into maintaining our health and everyday lives. So, just like it's important to go to the gym or go for a walk and eat healthy, like I'd love to see a world where we're integrating these beautiful practices that connect us more deeply to who we are.
No, that's that's actually gone quite deep. Good for you. And one more question: how do you keep your momentum going?
Honestly, kinesiology and Lomi Lomi. Like, I just keeping up with the practices just really connect me back into who I am. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, Erica, thank you so much for taking part in this. I wish you all the best with your business. And also, I'm sure that someone already said to you over a year ago, but welcome to Melbourne. You're in the right place for it. You're in the right
Oh,
place for it. And
thank
thank you for being an ally, and thank you for giving it a go, forging your own path. And once
Oh.
again, for people who are interested in finding out what you do, how are they going to find you?
Oh, yes, thank you. You can connect with me on Instagram and follow me there, or you can go to my website. But yeah, I'm literally so excited to meet anyone who feels resonant to me, and all of you is welcome in my space, all parts of you. That's really what the message of what I'm really wanting to offer.
Well, thank you so much again. And also make sure that you follow the information, Erica's contact information, Instagram and website and everything underneath the video or the show notes. And thank you so much again. And yeah, hope you have a good day.
Oh, amazing. It's been such an honor. Thank you for having me. This has been really fun.
Oh, thank you.
I think we can all learn from Erica, and as a business podcast, I want to share what we can all learn from her. Erica's practice is intentionally inclusive, especially for LGBT plus individuals. If we talk about the health and well-being space, we need to be aware that the sense of safety is a major decision-making point from a client point of view. Her approach can really help foster that positive relationship, and it can apply to other businesses. For example, if you provide a space to build trust, not only it's good for client engagement, but these clients would likely to recommend you to their friends and people connected to them. We are living in a world that is increasingly divided, and I am honest about my agnostic view on how the health and well-being space work outside traditional Western medicine. And I really appreciate that she's open to a conversation, and it is about sharing experiences and understanding. And I particularly like how she encouraged people like myself who are on the fence to view all of the work in this space through the same critical lens. This showed me that she is open to conversation and active listening, and taking on what others think and providing a proper response that is encouraging but not vilifying. This is a good example not only for business but for everyday communication. The third point wasn't really addressed in the episode, but her website that the friend made for her it's very well put together, and I think it represents her very well. And also her Instagram shorts, I think, work very well and on brand as well. This actually shows how a good, solid, authentic digital presence is very important for entrepreneurs, small businesses, and any areas that you're doing. Anyway, I want to close the episode by wishing Erica the best in Kinesiology with Erica. And I also want to pose a question to your audience. Should I give it a go? Get Chatty podcast is produced by me, Arthur, the Chatty Curator. Thanks for your company. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, learn something new, or pick up something helpful to realize your aspirations. The podcast guests are appearing in kind, so please consider supporting the podcast by supporting them. Small moments like liking or sharing on social media, or even tagging a friend about a post can really help. You can find the detail on the show notes or send the episode's dedicated page on chattycurator.com. Until the next episode, have a great day.